Hi, this is John Wentworth. Not all recruiting is equal. Some recruiting is done to your satisfaction, and some just totally misses the mark. The key to good recruiting is getting good hires, and the Wentworth Company delivers good hires. Who cares? Actually, you probably do. You probably do not want to hire incompetent, miserable employees who stay 2 weeks, disrupt your operation, and then leave. You probably want employees who are long term, stable, and highly productive. If you do, you need good hires. What is a good hire? Partly it's the outcome, long term, stable, and productive employees. Partly it's how the getting of those fits into the organization. If any of the keys on your screen is broken, good hires will not happen. Wentworth has set the standard for reliable, fairly priced, and innovative recruiting for 30 years. We have heavily engineered the recruiting process to make it successful virtually every time. One additional result is that we cost half to a third of what other vendors charge, and we deliver better recruiting. We can also make human resources managers heroes when we run their recruiting functions. The first step toward good hires is good job design. We write requirements for you for every job. The requirements represent a success profile. Through interviews with you and others in your organization, and through studying the job with our collective hundreds of years of experience, we build consensus with you on what a success profile is. First, we gather quantitative data about what makes someone good in your job. We can get this information from you or from external sources or through interviewing your current staff. Then we look to see which traits, experiences, or competencies successful employees in that job share. We recruit against that profile, rejecting candidates who do not look like your successful employees. We can also refine success profiles so they get better and better as we recruit. This costs you virtually nothing additional. This orderly screening also helps you make the case that your recruiting is legal. Here's a success profile for one technical sales job. Some of what the top performers are better at is counterintuitive. That's what was making this job so hard to fill before we became involved. The job design also needs to describe individuals who actually exist in the available labor market. Hiring managers need to have the labor market made vivid to them. If they're looking for an actuary who tells jokes, for instance, they're just out of luck. There aren't any. Wentworth brings the labor market to you. Green is what the hiring manager wants, red is less than what the hiring manager wants. The rows are requirements and the columns are candidates. You can see here that no candidate has all that the client wants. We can recruit for someone who doesn't exist and fail, or we can work with you to help you redesign the job so that it can be filled. Stepping back for a second, if you recruit well, there are only 4 reasons you can't fill a job. The first is organizational issues. Wentworth brings data forward since facts can neutralize many organizational problems. The second is that no one you want exists, what we just talked about. The third is this: you can find people who have what you want, but you cannot or don't want to pay what they cost. The data we bring to confront this issue are in a scattergram that plots capabilities, as articulated by your threshold requirements, versus the pay required to get them. Once again, these data allow you to make a sensible choice about what to do. It's not rocket science, but it's a lot easier to adjust what you plan on paying for a job if you know how much proficiency you can get for how much money. The fourth reason you can't fill a job is that the candidates you want, whom you can find, and whom you are willing to pay appropriately, do not want to work for you. The only way to solve this problem is to understand why. Wentworth can poll candidates as we recruit them, so the cost is minimal, as to what they want and why they do and do not want your job. The candidates shown in this slide who were all qualified, did not want to move to a new city for our client's job. We learned why, allowing the VP of HR to craft a solution. Why does the right job profile matter? Because we can replicate your top performers and their top performance. By avoiding searches that cannot succeed, we save you time, money, and frustration. Plus, we can give you the information to make sensible adjustments so you can get the talent you want on the job. The second key is process. If the process of finding, screening, and hiring new employees doesn't work, costs too much, drives off candidates, or irritates hiring managers, you are not going to hire good candidates. And good candidates are more valuable to you if they're on the job working on time when the work needs to be done. The last item on your slide is important. Everyone has a role in the process if the process is going to work well. Wentworth provides leadership to our clients regarding our and their roles. We know after 30 years that recruiting works better when everyone does what they're supposed to do, but this is new territory for some clients, and sometimes organizational issues get in the way. That's why we have former VPs of HR and PhDs as our frontline project managers. They can understand the obstacles and help remove them so we can help you make good hires. This partnership and our having engineered efficiency into our process allows us to deliver good hires to you at 1/2 to 1/3 of what other vendors cost. We charge hourly, and efficiency and partnership mean that we have to spend fewer hours, so the cost drops. Process matters. Wentworth manages the process so we can create good hires for you on time, at, or under budget. The next key is the candidate pool. It needs to serve your hiring managers by delivering choices within a strong pool of competence. Qualified but with modest individual differences is the goal. You need to see choices. We find again and again that a slightly dispersed group sparks new and good ideas. Bad hires are not qualified. Some other recruiters think it's okay to deliver those. We don't. Good hires are qualified in all the important ways. These are the only candidates you see from us. Our own analytic displays rat us out if we attempt to slip a bad candidate into your pool. You need to have choices, little differences in a group of candidates who have what you want. We find again and again that a slightly dispersed group sparks new and good ideas. Here's what a good pool looks like. Dark green is more than the hiring manager wants, light green is what the hiring manager wants, and red is less. This is a real pool. The red person on the right was the incumbent. The charter was to find better people. Obviously, we did that. The far left candidate was very attractive initially, so the client wanted to interview him. But the client was a distributor that resided in a tilt-wall concrete warehouse in an industrial park. When the candidate walked in his $1,000 suit and his $500 shoes, everyone knew it was not a fit, although he could have done the job in his sleep. The company hired the person with the average score of 3. 2 years later, he's still there and doing well. As was true with the success profile, great candidates do not do you a lot of good if they're not available. They need to exist in the labor market. What you want needs to be affordable. The candidate you want needs to want your job. If you hire to your success profile, you will get the performance you want and need. The next key is hiring decisions. Hiring decisions are notoriously bad. Wentworth provides a lot of hiring decision support to help you and your hiring managers make good choices. We provide tools to help you see which candidates are the most qualified compared to each other. A candidate can be the pick of the litter, but if the entire litter is not qualified, being the best of them does not help you. Wentworth provides selection decision support that helps you identify the individuals who get the best scores against your success profiles. It may come as a shock, But some hiring managers' decisions are focused more on liking the person than on the person being qualified. Wentworth offers you selection decision support that allows you to understand why you want to hire a certain person and will tell you if you're favoring liking them over their job skills or vice versa. Both proficiency and fit matter. You will not want every person you hire to be promotable, but you will want a selection of people who can be made ready to move up to the next job. Wentworth offers a full range of human capital management services unified by our quantitative job requirements and profiles of candidates and employees. We can help you onboard, evaluate performance, improve performance, build a succession plan, all using the same group of unified quantitative tools. Candidates who are qualified and affordable are no use to you if they don't want to work for you. Wentworth can ask candidates as we recruit them what they want from the job. We can compare that to what you offer. This is another real life story. This company thought they were not attractive to the group they wanted to hire. We asked what the candidates wanted, and it turned out the company had everything. They and we just needed to tell the candidates. We did, they were thrilled, and the candidates accepted the company's offer. Here's how we do it. We develop 35 or so single event and behavioral requirements for each job. You approve them. We compare candidates to each requirement and give them a score 1 through 5. Throughout this presentation, we have used these Tootsie Roll-like segmented rods. Each segment shows a score for a different requirement. We have reduced, just for simplicity, the colors down to 2. We present the result in vivid graphics that allow the candidate to come to life at a glance. Here's that example again of how we compare candidates. Each intersection is the score of a candidate against a requirement. You can see vividly how each is qualified and then can zoom your eye into seeing which requirements are their strengths and which are their weaknesses. If you do not pick the right candidates, and many people do not, all the hard work is wasted and you will not have made a good hire. If the decision is good and all the other steps have been taken, you and Wentworth can have good hires. Our goal is to help you hire the best, most productive staff possible at a reasonable cost and on time. Wentworth has set the standard for reliable, fairly priced, and innovative recruiting for 30 years. We have heavily engineered the recruiting process to make it successful nearly every time. One result is that we cost half to a third of what other vendors charge, and we deliver better recruiting. We can also make human resources managers heroes when we run their recruiting functions. Thank you very much for taking time with us. We would be pleased and flattered to have the opportunity to serve you. This is John Wentworth. Goodbye for now.